Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wildflower Garden Tarot. Um, it's a very windy day here. I'm sorry I haven't been around. I haven't done a lot of videos lately, but as my name implies, Wildflower Garden Tarot, my garden isn't actually wildflowers. It's a huge garden, and that's my priority right now, is getting that in. It's mostly in right now. It's been really cold here in Saskatchewan, and the wind has been like nuts. I think today it's like 100 km/h winds that are blowing through here. And that's been making everybody feel a little bit weird. But this morning, I was really anxious to, and honestly, I haven't been feeling the readings. I've done the readings, but the last couple were kind of the same in a way. And I felt like maybe we needed a break. And I kind of was like, well, I could do one today. And it's like, nah. Right? And Spirit just said, you know what, if you're not feeling it, don't force it, because that's not authentic. So here we are. Today I was really anxious to do my reading. I'm really grounded. I've been outside. So I've been doing the oracle cards first, and Spirit just led me to really make it with fun today. And so they said Romance Angels and the Wonderland Tarot, which is kind of my favorite. It's so fanciful, and I just love Alice in Wonderland. And this deck harkens very closely, to the original illustrations from, the Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass books, right? So there's that. And I love these cards because they're just small. See? And look at that on the bottom. So I feel like this is really going to be an exciting reading today. Buckle up, because I think it might be a long one. But, so I pulled the Romance Angels cards first. And it started off with Love Yourself First. Okay. You know what? And this almost looks like she's trying to force him to kiss her. And he's like, no, right? And I think that's probably Cupid. Either that. Actually, no. It's like they're sneaking something, because I was going to say he's almost pulling away, but then no, look at his arm, really around her. And my cat is really young. What? Axel! What? Sorry, my cat's really complaining. I just wanted to make sure he was all right. So love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you romantically attractive. So it's interesting. It's almost like that's a stolen moment, right? Quick, give me a smooch. Well, nobody's looking. Finances and career financial issues are a factor right now. And calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you and your soulmate together. So then I did these, and I was gonna, push the record button, and Spirit said, no, go into the Goddess Power. And you know how I usually shuffle and see what spits out? But they said, no, shuffle the Goddess deck 3 times, and then pull, lift one from the deck. And that's what I did, and this is what I got. Aphrodite, romantic love. These cards are so pretty. Aren't they so pretty? These are the Goddess Power Oracle cards from Colette Baron Reed. They come through Hay House, which I really love Hay House. So The message for this card is the Greek goddess of romantic love, Aphrodite, represents a state of ecstatic being that she now invites you to cultivate within. You can, within. So love yourself first. You can experience the world as a sensual, expressive, creative being if you allow yourself the freedom to explore what this means to you. Perhaps this is a portent of a new partnering or deepening of one you already have. Or perhaps this is a time for you to claim this aspect of your nature, which may have been laying dormant for a while. So if you're single, this may be, all of a sudden, especially after quarantine and self-analysis and time to ourselves, which can be horrible if we have to face, things. But in that facing things, it's like, you know what? I'm a sexual being. I have wants and needs that aren't just about my job. Life is more than my work. And I've been using my work as an excuse to not connect with my sexual self. Aphrodite invites you to fall in love with your life now and choose to look for the essence and expression of love all around you. By doing so, love will increase tenfold and you will see evidence of it everywhere you turn. This is your sacred task. Your alignment task is to stay present, to release judgment of others and yourself, I would say, and see the treasure of what lies in front of you. You may discover something painful is actually a beautiful gift, just like what I was saying, that we've kind of gone through this quarantine. And I know that a lot of you, especially through the readings, it's really been a time of analyzing yourself, analyzing your life choices, and a little bit of pain with that, wondering, how did I end up here? You're looking back to childhood and when we were younger, was this what I had envisioned for my life? And a lot of us thinking, hell no, and making some big decisions about, I've wasted some time here, but I'm not going to waste any more. And what this is saying, that for a lot of us, a lot of you, that you have put work first and yourself second, and stayed in relationships that weren't happy or didn't have relationships at all. Or that you've been burned and which is me, my situation, burned pretty bad. And it's just like, you know what? I'm a single mom, and I do recognize that I sometimes use my child as my shield between me and having to have a relationship. Does it hurt him? Hell no. It doesn't. Because, right? But I've been single now a long time, and I've just put this, really, I'm not usually, don't really share my stuff, but Spirit is just telling me to do this now, for those of you that, what? Okay, Spirit is just saying, well, because of our conversation, Spirit and I have conversations about ourselves too. It's not just about you. Sorry. But Spirit talks to me about fear, right? And how it is hard for me to even imagine what a good relationship looks like. Like that I'm afraid of it, even though I see other people around me in these amazing relationships and really amazing men around me. But I have a hard time believing that I can attract that for myself. And that might be where you're at too. Otherwise, Spirit would have me just spew that out on you. So you might discover that something painful is actually a beautiful gift. Indeed, it could be exactly what you need to release the old patterns that no longer serve you. So, right? Just like what we were talking about. Be careful of the addictive quality of longing and yearning for elusive love. Right? Like what I just was talking about. Be careful of the addictive quality of longing and yearning for elusive love and fixation on desired outcomes. This only creates more of the energy of unmet desire, and you may find yourself unable to discern what is true. Release. Oh, and okay, so we've also been talking about this in a lot of my previous videos. A lot. In fact, some of them are titled with things like this. Release your expectations and attachments to outcome and see what Spirit has for you. See what comes. Remain aware and accountable for your side of things. Make amends if you need to, and trust that all is well. Even your partnership with the universe may need refining as you let go of your need to have things your way. Call on the goddess Aphrodite to lead you to a healthier, more satisfying experience. So that is telling us all to release our expectation to outcome. While I was reading that, Spirit was saying, you don't know what I'm doing in your background. You know how like on your computer and like on the phone, it's like background apps are running or things are going on in the background that you're unaware of? It's the same. Spirit has our back. So we need to have faith in that and recognize that there's a lot going on in our background. Just because we can't see what's happening doesn't mean it's not happening. But for our part, we need to find this love for ourselves and let go of this. Let go of this and I'm just looking outside because there's a daddy walking with this cute little girl. It's adorable. But anyway, yeah, that while finances and career is really important, you and your love life and your sexual being is also important. And this is the time for you to really call that in and do that. So it's really cute because my son is 14 and he's doing carpentry work outside. And my neighbor is a carpenter. And so he's just walking by with his little girl and kind of talking to like guy stuff, which is really nice. So anyway, okay, they're gone. Anyway. Sorry. So it's really going to be interesting to see what comes out here. Where's the tower? Now that's really interesting, hey? Did that come off first? So this is kind of like Alice, like when she's big, right? And it's like the rabbit is... It's almost like he's evading her grasp. It's like she's got her hand like down the rabbit hole and, she can't see. She's just kind of looking. And he's like, but I mean, he could move, but he doesn't. This looks to me like a chameleon on her arm, which is ever changing, right? Well, that's really interesting. Because when Alice fell down the rabbit hole, it changed everything for her forever, right? It changed her perspective on things. Where she was weak, she became strong. I mean, this is the girl that eventually defeated the Jabberwocky, right? Love yourself first. And call in your soulmate. I'm just going to see if that one tried to come out. I'm just going to see if that's an actual or just a slide. Yeah, many choices. What to do is what Spirit said. What to do. At the table. The hats are cups. Okay. Nine of Pentacles woman. And she's looking a little saucy. Knocking at the door. There's 9 Pentacles. That's the clamshells there. She's looking like... Spirit just said she's asking for that last shell. So this is you. So, I mean, everything's kind of hitting the fan. And you're realizing that there are choices out there for you. You just haven't taken the time to even think about them. Okay, tell us about the querent. That's what you guys are called, the querent. Tell us about the querent. Knight of Flamingos, you want to come rushing in. So you're all of a sudden you're feeling like in a rush. Okay. Charge. Okay, tell us about the querent. What's going on with those who are watching? What's going on in the collective? Ooh. Wheel of Fortune. Also something fast. What's going on with the querent? What's going on? What's going on? The Lovers. Am I going to take... No, there's too many of these. It's like... But the Queen of Hats is on the bottom of that. Okay, what's going on with the current Page of Peppermills? What's going on with the current? Like they're telling me that there's more. There's some stuff going on with you. Okay, there's the Devil on the bottom there, but I'm not going to take it. Remember how I said... No, they said do take it. Okay. Okay. This is really interesting how they're talking to me today. I'm just going to put these here and then see what Spirit says once I look at them, because they've come out in a really funky way. I don't know if you watch other readers. If you don't, you totally should. Because like they'll have like a certain method of going. And then every once in a while, like things are like Spirit just like acts like weird. And there's the Hermit at the bottom. Okay, so remember when we talked about the tower? How like when Alice started, it was a tower moment when she fell down the hole, right? Because she changed. She was just a girl when she fell down the hole. But like in the story, she ended up defeating the Jabberwocky, even though she didn't think she could. And like referencing the Johnny Depp movie, Alice in Wonderland, through the whole movie. Okay, cold. Through the whole movie, they said, she's not the right Alice. Of course she is. And then they would say, you know, and they'd have I forget what they call it, but the book, right? And they showed how she would defeat this Jabberwocky. And she's like, well, I can't do that. I'm not the right Alice. And so then they take her to see, you know, the caterpillar. I forget his name. And he's smoking his water pipe. And he says, is she the right Alice? And he looks at her up and down. And he says, not hardly. And so then it continues. Like, she's not the right Alice. Yes, she is. And again, it seems increasingly that she is the right Alice. And then at the end, towards the end, you know, it's the day before she's in the castle of the White Queen. And she... the next day she's supposed to do this, and she's like, I can't do this. Are you kidding? And then she comes Absalom. She comes across Absalom, and he's cocooning, and so he's changing, right? And so they have a discussion and about that she's going to do this, And she's like, but you told me I wasn't the right Alice. And Absalom said to her, no. I said, not hardly. You're not hardly the right Alice. You weren't ready yet, but now you are. Now you are the right Alice. So this talks about what these oracle cards are saying to love yourself first, to find out who you are, to analyze yourself and the things about yourself that you've put aside. I'm not brave. Like she could think, I'm not brave. Actually, yes, you are. And you will defeat the mighty, mighty Jabberwocky. Spirit just said the Jabberwocky is your fears of love. That's what they said. So I think that who I'm talking to is of divine feminine. So you've had this time, and suddenly you realize, you know what? That's true. I have a dream. Like, wouldn't it be nice to have, or different people that I focused on? Oh, but then if like every once in a while you realize, you know what? If that actually came true, I'd freak the fuck out, right? Because I've got my comfortable life here. I've got my bubble. Like, don't disturb my bubble. Because these people here, and like people like me, our bubble, like, that's impenetrable, okay? We've needed to create that bubble to protect ourselves because there was a time that we weren't safe. That's interesting. You know what? That almost came out of my mouth without coming through my brain. So I think that that's from Spirit. But you are a Knight of Cups woman, or Knight of Pentacles woman. Like, you have worked hard, and it's like, you know what, fuck you. I don't need anybody else. I got my shit covered, right? I pay my bills. I look after my kid without anybody's help. I don't ask anything of anybody. I got my shit looked after, but I'm missing a pentacle. And I'm aware that I'm missing this pentacle, but I just don't know what to do with it, and it'll wait. It'll wait. It'll wait. But now you've had this time to love yourself first and to think, no, I'm missing that pentacle. That's kind of an important pentacle. And suddenly you're feeling this urge, whether you've met somebody or whatever, the seasons changed. Like Stevie Nicks says, and I say this often, the seasons changed and so have I. Interestingly enough, these are all real characters except for the one that's in the forefront. I forget what this character is called. But this is a mythical creature. In the foreground. I mean, the dial has turned and it's this creature's turn. And the mouse is almost explaining what happened in the last season to get this being up to date. And because the rest of these are actual creatures, right? Like there's a mouse, an owl, a falcon, and a beaver. But it's like the season has changed to be something that you felt, there's love out there, but not for me. That would be a miracle. That's impossible. It's mythical. But no. The universe has got something for you. I'm going to see what the book says about the lovers. It's a weird lovers card, right? Because it's Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And then the raven. Ravens are messengers of Odin. Ravens are mythically messengers to God. So they bring messages from the earth to Odin. But in this card, it's implying from Odin to you. And 6. The twin brothers Tweedledee and Tweedledum are the closest pair in either book. So that's either Alice in Wonderland or Through the Looking Glass. They are pictured here arm in arm, and above them is the crow, who broke up their battle by blocking out the sun. This is the card of interaction between two people and among family and friends. It also represents unexpected events and meetings, as Alice met the pair by chance as the crow surprised the twin. So while I was reading that, Spirit said, either, so you've been like looking at readings or whatever, it's like, my soulmate's out there someplace, I know it. You may have just gone through a time like in the past couple readings where you felt like somebody that you've been holding on to for a long time, or the idea of, was your soulmate. And that just hasn't come in, it hasn't come in. But now maybe you've met somebody else that's made you think, huh, right? Because it's like, wait a minute. All my attention has been on this situation or this person or this job. And I thought that's what I wanted. But now I've met this. And suddenly the glimmer has gone off. This other one. So the season's changed. The universe, Spirit, is bringing in something new and remarkable for you. Page of Peppermills is a messenger. Queen of Swords is also a very self-protective, creative woman. I'm going to just check one of the books. Just because the book is a little bit different on a lot of these. Flamingos with Swords. Sorrow, often widowhood. But I mean, that would be for the single woman who's had her heart ripped out. Intelligence with the knowledge of the darker side of the world. One who has gone from happiness to failure and understands both. So this is just what we're talking about. This is a woman who's kind of self-protective. You understand what it's like to have your heart broken and to be tricked. To be a good person. Oh, Spirit just says, tell them, remind them how narcissists attract empaths, attract good people, strong people. So there was a thing I saw on Facebook. It was like a meme, and it was like, be careful of. It was kind of towards single women, right? It's like, beware of the hobosexual, right? Especially for single people that are looking after their kids, that have good jobs, that got their shit covered, that are these people, right? Which they have to be, because the hobosexual is the person that's got no job. They can't look after themselves. But they're charming, often like they're artists or musicians, like in my life, in my experience anyway, musicians usually, that like they woo you with whatever it is that they have. But what they don't have is a job. They could be in their 40s and I'm living for my art, man, that kind of thing. Not to put artists down because I myself am an artist, but it's just that in my experience occurs quite a bit. So that you have been a magnet for the homosexual. And why not? I mean, look at you. Like, you're going to look after them. Right? But it's made you feel like the fool more than once. So you're guarded here, right? So you've been through the battle. You're a little bit battle scarred. You know, in the traditional deck, like this is the Nine of Wands, right? And the guy's standing there and his head's all bandaged and stuff. But, I mean, he's survived it, but he's scarred. But here comes that Six of Cups. There's the mouse. The mouse was the last season explaining what's going on with Alice to this character. Is that like a dodo bird and like a things like because he's like, I'm going to hand Alice her 6th cup. And with that strength, she'll defeat the Jabberwocky. Ooh. Are you thinking about romantic love now? You've been calling in your soulmate. You've been wondering what's going on, but you needed to open doors for yourself. You needed to open your own doors. And like today, I got the windows open on both sides of the house. It's a wicked wind, but I wanted to let the wind blow through my house. What are we bringing in, Spirit? What are we bringing in? I'm so happy I went with these cards today. What are we bringing? Oh, there's the Empress on the bottom. You said to take it. You're leveling up. You got this. Oh, now you're going for the 9. You're taking a jump from this self-protective but self-made woman, but you're missing a piece. Just like, no. I'm pulling it all together now. I found my strength. Okay? All right, that's nice, Spirit. It just tells me that he wasn't done with you, or they weren't done with you. For some reason, I feel like, oh gosh, sorry. For some reason, I feel like Spirit is, I have many, but there's several that are masculine. So that's a really nice story. Which is really nice for me because I really understand men, and I actually am more comfortable around men. Not romantically, like I'm not comfortable around single men usually, but oh, okay. Tell us about who she's calling in. Who is she calling in? Tell us about this guy. Do I still use this deck? Who is she calling in? No, they said keep going. Ooh. Oh, it says look on the bottom. Somebody with a broken heart. Somebody who's got a life experience like yours. Oh. 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 No. Spirit just said for a lot of you, you've broken his heart before. Somebody you rejected previously. Yeah. Somebody you rejected. We've had this kind of message before. Somebody you've rejected previously. Somebody that you made him feel a little bit like he wasn't good enough for you. But he's not. He's all this. This man is guarded, though. See, that's the raven again. And that is a desk, a writing desk. And to me, there's all his private notes in there, things maybe he's written about you. How he yearns for you. Letters that he's written to you but never sent. But he doesn't want you to see them yet. So he's guarded. Even if you're coming in, don't expect him to just be like, jump in it. You're going to have to earn it, sister. Oh, but this is coming. So there's the 4 of Wands. He's still dreaming about this. You're going to have to earn it. Okay. Because, like, my question is, who is this? It's King of Pentacles. And he's a really, Spirit just like, he's a really pleasant fellow. Interesting. Okay, you see, there's the rabbit. And it's like, you know, like going into a basement, like in some houses, my neighbors have it's like, over where the windowsill it's like glass, and you can lift that up and go in through the window. But look at, this was from the first. He's always been there. You need to break through. You need to break through to find him. Because remember how I said this rabbit, he's not running or hiding? He could move. Because you're reaching for something and you don't know what. It's him. It's him. Oh, that's so cool. And guess what? The King of Oysters is a well-to-do fellow. So he's going to be vacillating between, oh, she's coming in. Oh, I'm so excited. And what does she want? Is she just going to use me because she really, like, didn't think I was good enough for her before? So what's changed? So I think you need to open yourself up to him and say that you've changed. He's also a king of flamingos. He's also a king of wands. This is very sexual energy. This guy's very successful, but once you break through his wall, his bubble, he's cool. This guy's groovy. He's going to make life so much fun for you. You're not going to have to worry. This guy you don't have to support. This is not a homosexual. Okay? He won't come. He would not even think about coming to you unless he had earned. He might have been somebody that didn't have much. And worked his way to the top. Or took chances. Right? Took chances and has been successful. But he's still this groovy guy. Maybe he's a musician. But, you know, one that knows how to work. Oh. Is there another card from? Okay. There's that 8. Okay, so they had me open up the deck. On the bottom was the Fool. And when I opened up the deck, it's the same character. It's the Mad Hatter. But he's like, okay, so he'll come in. He's just, like, he's got to think about things. He's got to make sure that you're sincere. What's going on here? He's just got to make sure. Because he doesn't want, like, ouch. I don't think that you even realized what you meant to him. I love it that this is, like, I needed that break, right? Like, we needed to have kind of a transition between Ace of Oysters or Ace of Pentacles life for you. New beginnings for you both. Remember when we first started? That this was on the bottom of the deck, and I said, well, we'll see. And now this is, like, Spirit just said, we're done. So you're starting a new life together. I'm just going to see. They just told me now to take a look at that. If there's a message in here for you. There's a message in here for you. Oysters, which are pentacles. Why can't I find you? Golly. These are oysters. Yeah. So, paradise, perfection, contentment, money, the body. Oh, the body and the soul gaining wealth. It's your lost. It's your, oh, I got the chills. It's your last pentacle, honey. Here you go. Here you go. There you go. There's your last pentacle. Bam. Oh. I mean, here's a lesson for you all too. Never be scared to take a break, especially when Spirit's like, when you're feeling empty and when you got nothing. Don't force your way through it because, you know, you'll make mistakes and you won't be authentic. Right? So, my advice to you is, let me just take a look at this. I'm going to take more time now because if you're not interested in this, then you can click off. But, I mean, I'm taking this as a reading for the Divine Feminine. That during quarantine, you've had time to look at yourself and learn to love yourself first. Put that work aside. Because you can't. You're just not even able to, maybe. Or things are shutting down. Or everything's changing. Or everything, right? But by doing that, you're changing. And you're calling in your soulmate. And then you're starting to think, what am I missing out on? I'm not getting any younger. What I've used my work, in my instance, I've used my work and my child to shield me. But I still dream of what it would be like. But I mean, anytime something even close to it comes in, it's like, oh my God, run. So then that quarantine has given you your own personal tower moment. It's like, you know, I fucked up. Or, you know, my bubble that I've created has prevented me from having the full lives of people that I see around me. But there's a season for everything. But we had our own tower moment. So there's the guy. You're breaking through to find, like, you need to break through your own bubble to find your king of oysters. There. Right? I mean, do you see all the synchronicities in this reading? So things are going to happen fast, you know. The universe is working in your favor. The background. Your background story, you've been too busy working to even know what's going on. But Spirit's been working for you, right? So things are going to seem like they're coming in all of a sudden. And there's going to be a message for you. And you need to quit being so self-protective. Because once you're able to do that, then you can bring in the soulmate. Okay? The devil that you have to defeat yourself to claim this Empress energy. See, there's the Three of Wands literally come knocking out, right? So you need to do that. So then we're thinking, who's the guy? Well, he's somebody who's been looking at you since you were kids. Probably since you were kids. And it's kind of broken his heart how you didn't want to have nothing to do with him. But even as he sees you coming in, I think he's been watching you. Like always, your whole life. He's been in the background. So Spirit has... Sometimes we think that things aren't happening soon enough or whatever. And this guy's that, like, you know, years have passed. Like, I'm picking up that, you know, like, you guys could be in your late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 80s, right? That even when you're coming in, he's going to doubt that. So he's going between, he's got this energy, right, of going between, oh, I really want that. I want to get married. And it's like, but I'm scared. I don't want her to see how much I love her. But, I mean, Chicky, he is your king of oysters. That's that last oyster. Okay? So I think, yeah, there it is. I think he's going to go for it. But you need to expect that he's not just going to jump at the opportunity, like as soon as you, if you meet him and come in, you might feel that connection right away, but he's been feeling it forever. And for you, it's kind of new. So be patient with him. Have empathy for him. And you'll make this connection. Spirit just said it's the final test. Can you be kind to him? Or can you say, I always knew that you were? Because that's what he's expecting to happen. If you can, and you're used to dealing with the losers. This guy's not what you're used to. And Spirit's like, you have preconceived ideas about him too. You need to let go of that because you haven't had nothing to do with him for decades. Really. Other than what other people may be upset. Oh, okay, I often reference movies. Oh, that's so cool. What is that movie? Sandra Bullock is in this movie. Hope Floats. Hope Floats. If you haven't watched it too, because it's a little bit corny, but it's extremely good. And that's this story. That's this story exactly. So you've always counted out this guy. Or people's like, that guy's a loser, like, whatever. But he's not. So don't think you know this guy. You know who he is. But you don't know what he's been through. You don't know what he's achieved. And just because he's different than the losers that you're used to doesn't mean it's wrong, okay? It means it's good. You're going to need to check yourself. Check yourself. Or you could lose him. Because he's scared of you. Because he's a strong man and he might seem kind of alpha and like nothing can hurt him. But you can. So, that's exciting. Wouldn't it be nice if this is for me too? Oh my God. Anyway, have a great day. I don't know when I'll be back. I'm going to play it by ear. I'll be here when Spirit says. Okay? Love you to pieces. I love it when you leave messages. Except for that guy that keeps putting up the video link for like Hot Girls Online that I keep like, please just understand that like I'll delete that as fast as I can. Because that's just gross. Don't do that if you're watching this. Don't put links. Don't link to my page or I'll delete that shit. But I really like to hear your perspectives and your stories, and we can have our little community there. So have a great day and be kind. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Ciao.